Cuba, the ripe fruit of 2026.
Marco, look at this fruit. John Quincy Adams said it back in 1823, the ripe fruit theory. He said once Cuba is severed from Spain, or in our case, the Venezuelan oil teat, it has to gravitate toward us by the laws of political gravitation. And look, Maduro is gone as of January. The lifeline is severed.
Exactly, sir. The hegemonic pendulum is swinging back hard. Without those 100,000 barrels a day from Caracas, Havana is in total energy and financial paralysis.
I issued the ultimatum on January 11th. I told them, there will be no more oil or money going to Cuba, zero. They need to make a deal or face the consequences. We're talking viciously or nicely, but mostly viciously.
We've already reinstated the state sponsor of terrorism, SSOT, status you wanted. Biden tried to final our rescission on January 14, 2025, but we revoked that faster than a Havana minute.
On February 5, we added Orbit SA to the Cuba restricted list. That effectively chokes off the Western Union remittance channels. No more money for the regime gatekeepers.
Good. And the hotels? I don't want any Americans staying in those military-run geisha hotels.
NSPM 5 is back in full force, sir. No transactions with the military. We are channeling everything toward the independent private sector, the homestays and the paladares.
Polk offered $100 million in 1848. The Ostend Manifesto said we'd be justified in wresting the island away if they didn't sell. We've been waiting 2 centuries for this political gravitation to kick in.
We're using the Helms-Burton Act as our legal crowbar. Title III is active. Anyone trafficking in seized property, like the old United Fruit Plantations or Esso refineries, is getting sued into oblivion.
ITT, Chase, United Fruit, they want their money. $1.8 billion in 1960 values is now $8 billion with interest. Cuba says we owe them $1.4 trillion for human damage from the embargo. I told them, I don't do fake math.
Havana is in total insolvency. Their electrical grid collapsed in late 2024, and now, without Venezuelan oil, they are literally and figuratively in the dark.
And the base? The 1903 lease is perpetual. They've been protesting it since 1959, saying it's void under international law, but we have Pacta Sunt Servanda on our side.
We're expanding the migrant operations center there to a 30,000-person capacity. If they try to use migration as a pressure valve, we're sending them to non-US soil. I've ended the twilight statuses. No more welfare chiselers using the Cuban Adjustment Act to travel back and forth. As of January 1st, the expanded travel ban covers Cuba. No immigrant visas, no student visas, no B1s.
Total isolation. If they want to eat, they make a deal. The 1959 revolutionary model is dead. We have Russian warships and Chinese spy stations to deal with, but they can't fight gravitation. The fruit is falling, Marco.
We're just strategically waiting for the implosion, Mr. President. The 119th Congress is ready for kinetic action if they don't fold.
Your Honor, under Helms-Burton Title III, we are suing every European and Canadian firm trafficking in our nationalized refineries.
The 23-year suspension is over. The Trump administration activated the provision in 2019, and in 2026, the floodgates are wide open.
Cold War ghosts. Cuba served as the Soviet Union's primary outpost for decades. Now, Russian warships are back in Havana Harbor, but the subsidies are gone.
We closed the loopholes. No foreign subsidiaries of U.S. companies can trade with them. If a vessel docks in Cuba, it's barred from the U.S. for 180 days.
The 2024 grid collapse was just the beginning. Now, the Maximum Pressure 2.0 is creating a blockade more comprehensive than the 1962 version. Biden reauthorized U-turn payments and bank accounts for private entrepreneurs in 2024. Trump 2.0 is snipping those lines. Secondary sanctions are hitting the gatekeepers.
The Great Expropriation of 1960. The failure to settle these 5,911 certified claims is the primary legal obstacle to any deal. This extraterritorial reach is a violation of international law. We have blocking statutes.
Call it what you want. We call it hegemony by decree.
redesignated and active.
No more thaw. The pendulum has swung to the far right.
Welcome to GTMO. You're on non-US soil now. Limited habeas corpus, unlimited strategic deterrence.
The Supreme Court says they do have constitutional rights to habeas corpus here.
Let the legal battle begin. It'll take years. In the meantime, the pressure valve is sealed. I'm issuing a temporary stay until January 24th, but after that, deportation for those on humanitarian parole.
Blackouts and health crises are gripping the island. The Cuban Adjustment Act, CAA, is functionally obsolete because there's no way to reach the shore.
These aren't real refugees if they're traveling back to the island every month. They are welfare chiselers undermining our resistance.
Weaponizing the border. If migration won't achieve regime change, we'll make sure the collapse happens on the island.
Maximum pressure. No engagement. Any talk is a betrayal.
But what about our families? We want rapprochement and remittances.
We've captured U.S. policy for 40 years. We modeled ourselves after IPAC, and it worked.
And in 2026, the policy capture of Washington is complete.
We will legalize the dollar. We will modernize.
Too little, too late. Total economic insolvency looms.
These are primary targets for punitive actions. The security threat is too high to wait.
We just wait for the domestic implosion. Then we ensure the transition aligns with our interests.
Can the 1959 model find a new patron to survive? Or is the 67-year experiment over? The laws of political gravitation.
It's going to be a beautiful deal. The best deal in 200 years.
Gravity always wins, sir.